We're back now with Tim Guinness. He is chairman and CIO of Guinness Atkinson Asset Management in London. Tim, thanks for staying with us. Before the break, you said you felt like CEO Tony Hayward of BP is not getting a fair shake. People are not giving him credit. But yesterday in Washington, he gave a lot of people the impression that he really was not aware or in control of a lot of what was going on in the Gulf. Do you think that's right?
What I'd like to say about this is we're as appalled as the next man about this disaster. We're a shareholder. We've got a lot of money. We feel for everybody involved. However, what is frustrating from this side of the Atlantic is what we believe the focus should be is on sorting out the current problem, and we'd like to see Tony Hayward given space to get on with that. When that is done, we then want to find out what went wrong and who was responsible. But that's the right order to do these things in.
So, Tim, it sounds like you think everything's gotten too political. So let's focus back on your point of view as a shareholder. The stock is up in London for the second day running, but it's still down around 40% since late April, since the explosion. Are you buying more now? Do you believe that much in Hayward's leadership?
Our view is that the $80 billion that has been knocked off the market capitalization of BP is significantly in excess of the likely cost. It's obviously, you can imagine scenarios where the cost could be as great as this, but the likely outturn is going to be less. So the fall is overdone. The upside from here is quite significant. We are basically buyers of the stock for our more aggressive clients. So,
Tim, when you say the upside is significant, by when and just how high do you think it could go?
I think I hate putting a time scale on these things. So to give you my answer, I would say within a year. How much do I think the price could recover? I should think it could go up 50% from here. That would be recovering 40 billion of the 80 billion of fall that we've seen.
Tim, as you indicated, you have a lot of money in this game, so obviously you've been doing careful analysis. Have you considered two possibilities? One we've heard of quite frequently is that BP may not be able to do business in the U.S. for a while, and the company will have to sell off some of its U.S. assets. How likely is that in your view? How much did that factor into what you expect for the stock?
It's certainly a factor. No one can ignore it. We believe the probability is small because we don't think that would be right, and we think the administration will do what's right. But that is why we are buyers for aggressive investors and not for our conservative or balanced investors.
The other point I wanted to raise is that some people have said that this $20 billion escrow fund is not enough. We had an analyst, a highly ranked analyst, on with us yesterday saying it should be $40 billion, double the amount. What do you make of that possibility?
Well, if you read what commentators were saying would be the likely amount that BP would have to pay in claims, just a few days ago, they were coming up with figures like 5 to 8 billion. 20 billion is a very large number compared to those earlier estimates. Remember, the 20 billion does not cover the cleanup costs. That's another 5 billion, and it doesn't cover fines that BP might have to pay. We believe they will only be 4 or 5 billion, but they might be 15 billion.
Some unknowns.
That's where we get to our 40. That's where we get our 40 number from.